Hello everybody, we're here again to do another tag because I can and I like them and they're easy. Not wearing any makeup or anything like that because I'm lazy. So many things that you will find out about me today, most of which you already knew. This is actually going to be a writing book tag instead of a reading book tag because I write books as well as read them. Whee! Some of you probably have seen a few of my vlogs in the past about writing. This one has structure. This one has questions. I'm here in my living room because this is my writing spot. I sit on the couch. I got a great big window right there so I can look out and see the beautiful trees for inspiration. My dog's right over there. My cats are over there for company. It's a great writing spot. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's cushy. Cushy is important. So let's do the writing tag. I'm going to try not to get too protracted and long-winded. It's hard to do when you're talking about yourself, especially when you're as awesome as I am. But I'm going to try. Okay, so it's called The Writer's Life for Me tag, and I will link you to the original in the doobly-doo. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, question 1. What kind of writer are you? / what do you write? I am a YA fiction and fantasy writer. Bam. Knock that one right out of the park. I don't write poems, I don't write nonfiction, and I don't write adult fiction very often. Although, I mean, my fiction could be considered adult fiction in that there's lots of violence and there are adult characters in it, but it doesn't have a lot of, like, the sex and stuff, so, and the style is a lot more YA. See, I made it long. Look what I did. I made it long. Should just answer the question. Question 2. When did you start writing and why did you try it? Well, like many authors, I started before I could actually write. My mother can attest to this. Before I could write, I used to just walk around talking to myself, telling myself stories or telling stories to an imaginary audience because I had these stories in my head and no way to outlet. No outlet for them because I couldn't write yet, and so I just talked to trees and, you know, the cat, and just like stories. And eventually I could write. My first story was about a pencil who came to life. I don't know what happened to it, but I also illustrated it because I can draw as well. So I have been writing since before I could actually write. Why did I try it? Because if I didn't, my head would explode. It's as simple as that. When I write, I'm saving you from being covered in my brain matter. You're welcome. Question number the 3rd. What inspires you? The glistening tear on the cheek of a child. No, anything. Like, anything could inspire me at the spur of the moment. I mean, I was inspired to write an entire book, which I have done, based on a friend's Facebook status. That it's that easy. I'm always observing everything. I'm like in a constant state of observation. Like when I go to the grocery store, yeah, I'm buying my groceries, but I'm also like surreptitiously observing how everyone else buys groceries in case I need to write a grocery purchasing scene in a book someday. Or the way that people carry themselves, how they move their hands. Stuff. Always gathering stuff for writing later. Alright. What themes do you explore in your writing? Definitely strong female characters. I don't know if that's a theme, but that's something that I almost always have. I like all of my books to be able to pass the Bechdel test. If you don't know what that is, that means that a scene, I forget how long it has to be, that has 2 or more women in it that are not discussing a man at all. And I feel that all of my books should pass that. And except for my one that stars a male character and most of the characters are male, I think I've passed that in most of my stories, but we'll see. So strong female characters that don't just think about boys. I'm really, really character focused. Interesting characters that are different from what you expect, that have depth, that have multiple sides to them, and that grow throughout the story. Coming of age, I like that theme. Is character interaction a theme? Is banter a theme? I love banter. Anyway, yeah, a lot of sort of boring answers there. I just write books. I don't really think about what theme I'm going for necessarily. Alright, next question. Are you a pantser, a plotter, or both? Meaning, when you write, do you fly by the seat of your pants? Do you plot everything out in a book? A little combination of both. And actually, I am a little combination of both. I used to be a straight-up pantser. I would plan. I have always had an idea of the structure of the story with a clear ending in mind. I feel it's very important that you should know how your story ends, and then also key scenes or key points of character growth through the story that I will bridge together. Only recently, only with, can't find it. I have a notebook somewhere with tabs and everything. That is for my fan fiction that I'm writing right now, The New Ways of Old Gods. It's a book-length fan fiction, and I have to keep track of a lot of lore that isn't mine. So I do have a notebook with all kinds of stuff in it about that to help me, but I've never had to do that for a book that I was writing. I might start, though, because it's really handy to just be able to go, oh, what's that guy's name again? Flip, flip, flip. Haha, his name was that. But yeah, mostly I'm a pantser. I don't write a big outline at all. I bridge important story points. Where are you on your journey? Querying, agented, published, etc. I was querying for a long time with a couple different books, and I just got burnt out on it. Not because I got so discouraged that I would never do it again and gave up. It was that I got bored because I am an instant gratification kind of person, and I was like, this isn't working. This is not working. I sent out a lot of query letters, and I know what you're probably thinking, well, that probably means your book isn't good, or that means your query letters are wrong. I disagree, but you can think whatever you like. But I have discovered that self-publishing is probably the way to go. I have one self-published book, Phoenix, which you probably heard me plugging before. I'll link you in the doobly-doo to where you can purchase that for your Kindle. And then I've been mostly doing a lot of, self-publishing and fanfiction lately because I am an instant gratification girl. And with fanfiction, you can put it out there and people can read it right away. And no waiting to get published. Just be like, here you go, here's the thing. So yeah, only self-published right now. Have you ever entered a writing contest, and what were the results? When I was a child, I entered writing contests and won them hand over fist. I apparently was an exceptional writer as a child. As an adult, I have entered writing contests and haven't won any of them. So apparently I was an exceptional child writer and an average adult writer, I guess, if contests are to be believed. I only really enter free writing contests because I don't believe in paying somebody for me to not win when I could not win for free. That's kind of where I'm at. But I haven't even won any of the free ones, so I feel like until I start winning those, I shouldn't be paying money. But yeah, enter writing contests, yes. Win them, no. Who are your writing heroes? Two that spring instantly to my head are my writing idol growing up, who's Brian Jakes, who wrote the Red Bull series. I absolutely adore him. I love the way he writes characters and the way he describes things, and his songs and poetry for his stories. He's such an inspiration to me, and I want to write similarly to him when I grow up, basically. I mean, granted, he did get very formulaic after a while, and a lot of his stories were the same because they were all set in the same universe, and he had very strict rules for that universe. But I don't care because the man was a very skilled writer, and he made the best characters and the most amazing scenes for kids, but he never treated kids like they were kids. He was like, they can handle violence, they can handle death, they can handle all of these deep themes of good and evil, and he's amazing. So I want to be like him. And my other writing idol is Tamara Pierce for kind of the same reasons. I want to be Tamara Pierce when I grow up. I've decided that is who I want to be because her characters are some of the best characters I have ever read. To me, because characters are my thing. Her characters are just so unexpected and so deep and so engaging to read about. I never get tired of reading about them. I don't love all of her books, and I don't love all of her characters, but her latest ones especially are masterful. She's a masterful writer, and she weaves a good tale, and she doesn't bog you down with useless details. She just lets you see the world. She shows much more than she tells, and that is the best way to be. Have you been to a writing convention? I have not. Thought about going, usually chicken out because when you're there, you're kind of supposed to schmooze and promote yourself. And I am not a people person. Maybe it's all the hatred I have inside me. I don't know, but whatever it is, I have never gotten up the nerve to go to a writing convention because once I was there, I would probably just kind of stand in a corner and watch everyone and never do anything useful. So, yeah, never been to a writing convention. And, finally, my top 3 tips for newbie writers. First tip, you gotta write to be a writer. You know that story you've got in your head and you keep thinking, I gotta write that? Write that. Sit down, write. Write. It drives me crazy when people are like, oh, I'm gonna be a writer, I'm gonna be a writer. It's like, just do it. Put words on a page and you are a writer. I saw a meme once that was like, you cannot edit a blank page. So like, on your worst day of writing, it's better than no writing at all. Write. Second piece of advice, read. Read the genres that you like, read the genres that you don't like, and read with a critical eye. Don't just read. I mean, you could still definitely read for fun, and I find reading with a critical eye to be fun, but read with a critical eye. See what the author has done well and has not done well. It's easy to just blanketly go, I liked that book or I didn't like that book, but try to figure out why you liked it or why you didn't like it. Find success and flaws in every book that you read, and remember those. 3, let's see, we've got writing and reading. I guess just don't let anybody stop you or tell you that you're not a writer. Use your own style, whatever style that is. You will see something that tells you you're doing it wrong. Lots of people would be absolutely askance that I am a pantser, that I don't write these big things. And I also edit while I write, and you're not supposed to do that either, and too damn bad, that's what I do. So do the way you do. Don't let anybody tell you not to do it that way. Accept critique about the writing itself, but the process is yours. Okay, that's it. We're done. I'm out of questions, so that's my writer's life for me, tag answers. I hope you didn't get too bored. I'll see you again next time. Peace out.